Challenger!
Hey, Frog Prince Runner here, and thank you for dropping by. In this video, we will look at one of the most arrogant, self-inflated egoists I have come across in a long time. It is a channel called ShockOfGod, and the video is titled 7 Stupid Atheist Phrases Atheists Seriously Need to Stop Saying. Now, before we proceed any further, I do have to put out a warning. Normally, I tend not to use the F word in real life. In all my videos so far, I have used it a couple of times. My guess would be less than 10 times over 150 videos. Well, that is all about to change. I just hope that counter doesn't go over 150 just on this video. So fair warning, if there are children around, please either use a headphone or give this video a miss. Oh, I just realized, after writing the script, I can count the number of F-bombs, and all total I have 12 such occurrences. By the way, the F-bomb is the word freaking. So why this change of character? Well, apart from the things this moron has to say, I had to watch a 30-minute video with 25 minutes of waffle and repeat. It takes this a-hole 7 minutes to get to point 1. And when you think he's actually going to say it, there is another 1 minute 42 seconds of waffle. Honestly, the whole video is just repeating the same thing over and over again. It was an utter pain in the butt. Not to mention that the whole video is done on a moving vehicle by a driver. On the video you would see that this moron keeps looking at his notes and not noticing the road. I'm glad that he didn't run anyone over. This kind of people bugs me to no end. You are on a fast moving vehicle. Pay freaking attention to the freaking road, you freaking ass clown. To start with, let's see what he has to say. I bet he will say a lot more than 7 stupid stuff.
Let's start off with stupid thing number 1 that atheists say. I will tell the atheist, give me some arguments against the existence of God. Give me some proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. And you know what they say to me? You're ready to laugh. They will say, well, I'm not saying God doesn't exist. I'm saying I lack a belief. Boy, that's some limp-wristed stuff, because we all know atheists are wussies.
Okay, you freaking moron. I will dumb it down for you so even you can understand. Suppose I make a claim that I can fly. Now, will you believe me? If you're a sane person, you'd ask me to prove such claim. Then I flip the board and ask you to prove that I cannot fly. Now, suppose you go with my dumb statement and you follow me around 24/7. You are there when I'm in the toilet, you are there when I'm showered or in bed. In essence, you have the same power as your sky daddy. Now, obviously nothing happens and time passes. One day, one of us dies. If it is me, well, bad luck for you that you didn't get to see me fly. Or you die, and bad luck for you that you died before you could see such miracle. In either case, could you disprove that I cannot fly? So, ShockOfGod, was that easy enough for you to understand? This is what we call burden of proof. You are a class A moron because you don't understand what atheism is. We have another similar word that is agnostic. The first one says there is no God, and the second one says we don't believe nor disbelieve. And that is not fence sitting. I belong to the second group. Why would we take the burden of proving a negative? You make the claim your sky daddy created everything in 7 days. And many Christians claim that it is literal 7 days. Then you claim Adam, Eve, and some stupid story of eating an apple. Do you know what we say? We say you guys are wrong. In your case, you have a book written by men, and that is all. In our case, we have actual evidence, including fossil records, DNA, and such to prove that we evolved from a single-cell organism that lived roughly 3.5 billion years ago. So you guys are freaking stupid. See, we just proved you wrong. Trust me, I'm skipping a lot of stuff, such as your biblical flood that never happened. By the way, you calling us wimp and making that jerking off gesture does not add any credibility to your already non-credible arguments. Freaking moron.
So let's go to number 2, which literally is number 2. They'll say, what about other religions? The Muslims say they're right, and the Hindus say they're right. And let me add, and the atheists say they're right. They all can't be right. Yeah. So what's your point? What's your point?
Again, ShockOfGod displays complete lack of knowledge and understanding. There is a quote by Stephen Roberts that I quite like, that is, I contend that we are both atheists. I just believe in one fewer God than you do. When you understand why you dismiss all the other possible gods, you will understand why I dismiss yours. But even this simple statement might be too hard for our moron to understand. So allow me to simplify it even more. There is no religion that has proof of God. The whole premise is based on belief, which is an acceptance that something exists or is true, especially one without proof. Now, ShockOfGod, do you believe in Jews? Of course not. Now, if I would use your point 1 and ask you to provide proof of Jews not existing, would you have anything? No. The only thing you have is a book that you hold dearly, and that is all you need. Your lack of belief stops you from praying to Vishnu and millions of other gods. And it is the same lack of belief that stops us from believing in your particular brand of craziness. And your analogy regarding math, which I will not subject my viewers to, is also wrong. Math has a real answer and proof. Your belief is no different than Islam, Hinduism, or even a snake charmer. Freaking moron.
They'll say there is no evidence for Jesus Christ. Well, the correct answer is there's more evidence for Jesus Christ than atheism. You know how atheists say, well, you can't prove a negative, and atheism is a negative, therefore you can't prove that atheism is accurate and correct. They set themselves up for failure.
ShockOfGod, how is it possible for someone to be this freaking dumb? First of all, a lack of belief does not need proof, but instead it demands proof, which is very different than existence of a person. Now I can say that same sentence. There is no historical record of Jesus. But no atheist or agnostic in their right mind would say that being the reason for not believing in God. There is a lot more evidence for the existence of Muhammad. And so what? If you take enough LSD, you might yourself see and talk to God. Does that make you a prophet? Or makes your God real? No, of course not. Existence of a charlatan or a mental patient is not proof of a supreme being that came out of nothingness, created us all, and judges us. Freaking moron.
Okay, so the next one, number 4 on the list, they'll say, well, you're an atheist too because you deny that Islam is true. This is one of the dumbest, lamest atheist arguments out there. Seriously. This argument about you're an atheist too because you deny Islam is true and all this. Atheist, you got to quit making this error. A atheist is someone that denies any God exists. A Christian is claiming God exists. So you can't say the Christian is in any way or any form an atheist.
I have already touched on this earlier, so summarizing. You are atheist when it comes to every other god than yours, because you lack the belief in their existence. Freaking moron.
All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, this one, Cosmic Skeptic makes this mistake all the time, and so does Matt Dillahunty and Aaron Ra. In fact, every atheist I've met and every atheist that I've seen on YouTube has made this mistake. Here's the mistake. They'll say nothing exists until they see evidence for that particular thing. This is patently an error. This is errored on its face. This is wrong. So, for example, do I have any evidence that this person in front of me has a cell phone in their Frontier Nissan truck? No, but they could have one. It is patently false. It is errored on its face for me to say, because I don't have evidence that there is a cell phone in the truck, I should then claim there is no cell phone in the truck.
This analogy is wrong, but let's go with it. In our example, you're claiming that the cell phone created us all, without any proof that the person actually has a cell phone. We would like evidence of a cell phone to begin with. Then, if you claim that the cell phone can multiply and have baby cell phones, well, we know that cell phone, being inanimate object, cannot reproduce. Thus, we can say beyond the shadow of a doubt that cell phone, as per your claim, does not exist.
In fact, there are more things that exist that you have not seen evidence for than things that exist that you have seen evidence for.
Citation needed. In fact, can you give us 10 such things? Obviously, according to you, it is a bigger list than the things we have evidence for. So it should be rather easy, right?
Absence of evidence is not necessarily evidence of absence.
Now you're getting it. At the same time, absence of evidence also means just that, absence of evidence. Do go and read on burden of proof.
Do you know that it's been proven that most atheists are male and most of them have bad relationships with their dad? Did you know that?
Citation needed. Or is it like your other bullshit claims? Oh, why wouldn't people just believe? FYI, I had a wonderful relationship with my dad. You are a freaking moron.
So atheists will say, what about Santa Claus? And what about a unicorn? I bet you believe in that. And they'll compare Santa Claus and a unicorn. Atheist, oh, atheist.
So, did you ever manage to answer that question? The point here is, if you believe in some make-believe deity, why don't you believe in other make-believe stuff? There is more than one book written on Santa Claus, which is apparently based on Saint Nicholas. And I know that a bunch of books on unicorn exist. You religious people are freaking stupid.
And then the next one, we're just kind of alluding to this. They'll say atheists are happier. But you know this is a lie. Atheists kill themselves even more than Muslims.
Well, let me see. I don't worry about burning in hell forever because I choose not to believe in your sky daddy. I don't pay any money to keep the stupid priest fed who regularly molest young children. I can eat and drink what I want without worrying if it is halal or not. I don't burn widows. I don't think women are properties. I don't condone slavery. I'm not bound to any moral ideas that does not move with time and society. Oh, and I have more time as I don't have to pray 5 times a day or waste a lovely Sunday listening to some bullshit. And most importantly, I don't have to apologize for all the disgusting, horrible, abhorrent things my sky daddy did or said. So yes, on my scale of happiness, and we all have a different barometer for what we perceive as happiness, I am good. I'm happier than where I would be if I believed in a religion. Now, I do understand for dumb-witted person like you, the saying from Matrix, ignorance is bliss is truly correct. But that is the catch-22. We're not as dumb as you. If we are, we would find happiness and solace in your brand of bullshit. Thanks Hades for that. Shock of God, you are a grade A freaking moron. Final tally, stupid things atheists say, 0. Stupid things Shock of God says, well, I lost count. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm just way too pissed off for my normal spiel. If you have watched any of my other videos, you will know what should have been here. Wherever you are, have a safe day. Signing off.